Hello everyone, this is Lance back with another Mahjong tips video. So in the past few videos, we have been talking about offensive strategies. So we're going to do we're going to do something different. We're going to talk about defense today. So specifically, today's topic will be defense against Ping Hu, okay, and all sequences hand. So basically, we are defending against a possible two-sided weight because in Mahjong, every rational player will aim towards a two-sided weight unless they are doing something like Pong Pong, for example. Okay, if not, if from the efficiency standpoint, everyone aims for a two-sided weight or better. Okay, for the highest probability of winning. Okay, so there are some situations in Mahjong when we choose to defend. Okay, maybe because our hand has no hope. Maybe it's very late in the game and our hand still looks like shit. Okay, so let me address a serious defense misconception first. Okay, so you can reach a stage when you're defending that you look at your hand and then you see that there's nothing safe, like nothing in your hand has appeared before, and so your instinct is to break your pairs or triplets because you think that um if one of them pass and then you have another turn of safety. So for example, you see like three bar one in your hand. So when there's no safe tile, you just throw bar one, and then like the next two turn you can throw bar one also. Okay, so if this is quite late in a hand, right? Okay, the issue with this is that you need to consider that if you went so long into the hand and then like nobody won, right? It's quite possible that the other people didn't win because their winning tiles are trapped inside your hand as the triplet. Okay, that's why it's very hard for them to win because you already have triplets of their winning tiles in your hand. Okay, so this idea of I break my pair, I break my triplet to defend is not a very sound way of defending. Okay, so if we are talking about defending against sequences, right? Okay, so I will be going through two different ways that you can use to defend against a sequence hand. Okay, the first concept is something that I learned in Richie Mahjong. Okay, in Japanese this is called Suji. Okay, so you see this article says that Suji is one of the key defensive principles in Mahjong. Okay, is a defensive principle that is important to all types of Mahjong, not just Richie Mahjong. Okay, unfortunately, I have not found an English name for Suji. I think I saw somewhere which says it's called a three, I don't know, Mahjong three, some three-way interval. Okay, whatever lah. Not the name is not important. So let me just explain what this means. Okay. Um, for a two-sided weight, right, you will weight on two tiles that are three tiles apart from each other. Like for example, if you have 二三筒, you will weight 一四筒. Okay, so 一四筒 is considered one Suji. Okay, in one suit, there's six possible Suji. 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7, 5, 8, 6, 9. And because there's three suits, so there's 18 Suji in total. But of course, you should realize that some of the Suji overlap. Okay, once you go past the first three, right, then the other three, there will be some overlap, like 1, 4 overlaps with 4, 7. Okay, so understanding Suji is important because a sequence hand will be waiting on a two-sided weight. Okay, let's say in Singapore Mahjong. In Singapore Mahjong, when people are doing the no flower ping wu, which is very expensive, right? They have to wait on a two-sided weight if they were to win on a discard. So you need to defend against a possible two-sided weight. Okay. So how does this work? So for example, if the person who is doing ping hu okay, let's say he discarded 五筒 before. Okay, if he discarded 五筒 or like recently he discarded 五筒, okay, then he cannot be waiting on both 二五筒 and 五八筒 because otherwise he will have won already. Why would he discard 五筒? Okay, so if he has discarded 五筒, then 二筒 and 八筒 will be considered safe against his ping wu. Okay, it might not be safe against other people doing pong pong, but at least you know that it's safe against the ping wu hand. Okay. Then another example, so if he throw 六锁, then 三锁 and 九锁 will be safe against a sequence based hand. Okay, and in Ricci Mahjong we use this as well because when we run out of safe tiles, then we have to assume that it's likely that the player Ricci on a two-sided weight, so we hope that he's not waiting on a Kalong or Bianzang weight, so we throw the Suji. Okay, but that's when we run out of safe tiles. Okay, but there's a misconception regarding Suji. Okay, so you see how I explain. I say that if someone throw 五筒, then 二筒 and 八筒 will be safe against him because he won't have a two-sided weight 二五筒 or 五八筒. Okay, but there are players who think that because someone throw 二筒, then 五八筒 is safe. If he throw 二筒, then he can still be waiting 五八筒. He throw 二筒, he can still have 6, 7 waiting 5, 8. So how can throwing 二筒 make 五八筒 safe? Okay, this Suji at best is I mean 二五筒 is a Suji, and if 五筒 is discarded, it makes 二筒 and 八筒 safe. Okay, but if the player discard 二筒, then 五筒 and 八筒 is at best a half Suji, and that is not reliable at all. Okay, it doesn't even make sense. Actually, it's totally unrelated to the 5 and 8, totally unrelated to if 2 is discarded. Okay, so I make this point clearer. If someone discard E1, okay, it doesn't make 471 safe. It's only when he discards 41, then it makes E1 and 71 safe. Okay, hope you understand that idea. But of course, in Ricci Mahjong, okay, players can make use of this Suji concept. Okay, they can use this idea to set a trap, which we call the Suji Trap. Okay, like for example, if you look at this example, this player is in Tenpai Ricci on 五筒, okay, and he's waiting on 八筒, right? So, assuming that he's not waiting on the two-sided weight, assuming that he's waiting on a two-sided weight, then he cannot be waiting 五八筒, so the next player discards 八筒 and feed the player who Ricci. Okay, so this is called a Suji Trap. Okay, for Ricci, right? For Ricci Mahjong, you should look at the point where he how do I say this? Okay, at the point that a player Tenpai and Ricci, right? Okay, likely the tile that he Ricci with is connected with the waiting part of his hand. Okay, so like for example, now he's waiting Kalong 八筒, right? He has 七九筒. Okay, so this 五筒 had to be relevant to the hand somehow, so it will be like 五筒七筒九筒. Okay, so if he Ricci with 五筒, 八筒 is not, I mean, although it's Suji, okay, is not that reliable to discard the Suji of the tile that he Ricci with. Okay, because it's very likely that this 五筒 is connected with the waiting part of the hand. Okay, so if you want to defend against a Ricci, you should look at tiles that were discarded earlier, like 六锁. Okay, so 六锁 it was discarded earlier, it is more unlikely that he's waiting either 三锁 or 九锁. Okay, because this 六锁 being discarded earlier will mean that it has less of a relationship with the rest of the hand compared to the 五筒 that was discarded upon Ricci. Okay, so I hope that you understand the idea of Suji. So I'm going to move on to the next concept. Okay, the next concept in Ricci Mahjong is called Kabe. Kabe means wall as in 墙壁 wall. Okay, at least this has an English name. We call it a blockade. Okay, so this is very common sense. I mean, yeah, this is just common sense. If you see 3 四筒 on the table, okay, if you see all 3 四筒, I mean not on the table, it could be in people's sequencer, in people's mails or in your own hand. Okay, basically if you can see all 4 四筒, 三筒, sorry, if you can see all 4 三筒, that means that he cannot be waiting either, I mean other players cannot be waiting either 一四筒 or 二五筒. Okay, So if you are defending against a 平胡 hand, okay, a sequence based hand, then you see all four 三筒, you can use 一筒 and 二筒 to defend. Okay, of course this is not safe against the pong hand or people who like not safe against pong or 单调位 lah. Okay, but at least now the focus of this video is for a sequence based hand. Okay, but having all four tiles visible is not that frequent, so more often we will only see three of the tile on the table or in our own hand. Okay, so if let's say instead of 4 四筒 we see 3 三筒. Okay, if we see 3 三筒, then for players to win on either 一四筒 or 二五筒, they need to have the last 三筒, which is quite a low chance. Okay, in Richie Mahjong we call this one chance. I guess in any type of Mahjong we can call it one chance, is in English. Okay, so okay, I repeat if you see 3 三筒, then the chance of 一筒 or 二筒 放炮 to someone with a sequence based hand is low because he needs to have the last 三筒. Okay, this idea is more reliable if it's early in the game. Okay, so if it's early in the game, it's rather unlikely that someone will have the last 三筒 early to middle of the game lah. But if it's very late in the game, okay, then this is no longer reliable because if it's very late in the game, then almost all the tiles in the wall have gone into people's hands. So the last 三筒 would likely be in someone's hand instead of the wall. Okay, so this the idea of this incomplete wall, right, is not that reliable when it's very very late in the game. Okay, then of course when there's more than one wall, it will make things even safer. Okay, like on top of seeing 3 三筒, let's say you also see 3 二筒 on the table, then this makes 一筒 very very safe because for someone to win on your 一筒, right, if it's a sequence based hand, it needs to have the last 二筒 as well as the last 三筒, which is a very very low chance. If you have studied probability before, then you can go and calculate the probability. After you multiply the probabilities together, it becomes very low. Okay, same thing, if it's very late in the game, then you should not bank on this concept because likely the tiles have already gone into people's hand. Okay, so in summary, if you are defending against 平胡or sequence based hand, you don't rush to break pairs or triplets because that is not a reliable way to defend. What you should do is rely on Suji, which is like look at the two-sided way. If the middle one has been discarded, okay, then the one is Suji, so like 四筒 will make 一筒 and 七筒 safe. Okay, then the other concept is the concept of the blockade. Okay, if all four tiles are visible, then the tiles that are blocked by these four, okay, will likely be safe against a sequence based hand. If you only see 3 visible, then this is a thinner blockade, which it still helps in defense but more reliable in early to mid game, okay, than the late game. Okay, so next time when you're defending against 平胡, I hope you keep this in mind. Okay, it will help you a lot, and not just 平胡, 臭平胡 as well. Okay, and in Richie, when you run out of safe tiles, you can also use Suji to defend, but remember what I said, the closer the tile is, I mean, like the closer the discard is to the point that he reaches, the less safe the Suji is. Okay, so the earlier the discard, the more safe the Suji. Okay, so everyone, thank you for watching and bye bye.